PSL season is very interesting. I mean, you see Orlando Pirates leading the league by 6 points. They lost the first two matches. It didn't look like this Owato knew what he was doing. But obviously, I did say, most people like KB and other people, I did say this guy is a better coach than Jose Rivero. Jose Rivero has never been 6 points clear in February. I mean, come on, guys. On Valentine's Day, Orlando Pirates go to Orlando Amstel Arena. They beat Marumo Gallants 3-0. They got 6 points clear of the log. Ripero was gonna through that game, was gonna find a way to spoil this match. I mean, Orlando Pirates under Ripero were not fearsome, but now they look interesting. I know that I said Orlando Pirates will draw 1-1. I'm sure if you know me very well, I didn't mean it. I just wanted to create a hype. Let me just say that. I don't know if I mean it or not, but it doesn't matter now. What matters is that Orlando Pirates collected 3 points. They are now 6 points clear. If they beat Mamelodi Sundowns at FNB, of which is highly possible, then they will go 9 points clear. Where have you seen that? Then the league will be officially over. Naturana boys, Bafana Bachincha Kulova, Kaizer Chiefs, Amakhosi Amahle visited Zamalek in Egypt, where, of course, as expected, they bow out of the competition. When the match started, they were number 1. When it ended, they were number 3. It was expected because even at Polokwane against Al Masar Chiefs, I mean, that team, McCarthy scored an offside goal. That team was disallowed. Chiefs have been winning with luck. That's what I said in the air. That I don't see Chiefs going all the way because they've been winning with luck. Sometimes you can't play instinctive football. Chiefs, you can say they play instinctive football. They don't even know what's going to happen next. There's no. It's understandable so because it's coached by interpreters. These guys are not coaches. They came with Nabi. One of them was Nabi's interpreter. Now he's a coach. Where have you seen that a guy can come in as an interpreter? Jiggy Jiggy. He's a head coach. Then you've got Sundowns who did so well at Loftus Stadium, the Blue Bulls ground 1-2-0 convincing against MC Alger. Obviously, Rulane bows out of the tournament. The Brazilian continues. We don't know how far it will go, but what we know for sure is that Cardoso will be sitting on the bench against Orlando Pirates at FNB Stadium. It didn't look like so. If he lost, I don't know. Because Flemingberger here didn't even attend the game. He was scared. He feared because the dirty tricks they tried against Rulane, lying and saying Rulane, because Sundowns people wanted to lie and create a story that Rulane wanted Sundowns tactics and all that nonsense. It didn't work because the media were not believing it. The supporters of Sundowns, they didn't believe it at all. They knew that Sundowns must deliver. They must stop lying about Rulane. But Rulane didn't come to the party. Sundowns, as a result, Sundowns go through the next stage. But obviously, Rulane will try next year. If they keep him, I don't know if he's going to keep his job. I wish him well, obviously, because the previous coach also won the league, just like now Rulane is on top of the league, but he didn't do well in the Champions League. Then they replaced him with Rulane. I know that MC Alger management, they are really serious about the Champions League, but it wasn't to be this time around. Starting with Orlando Pirates, Coach KP, the Buccaneers 6 points clear. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, Nadim, for first time you got your information wrong. Flemingberg was at the stadium. So Flemingberg, as much as he was scared, he was there. But let's get into Pirates, but the mighty Pagania on top of the league. Nadim, when last did we see something like this, where we see Pirates ahead with games to start with? Because, you know, Pirates has been called names, games in hand FC. For the first time, they are ahead of Mamelodi Sundowns in games and also in points. So maybe there's a change of scenario. Maybe there's a change of championship. At least, that's what I'm saying. At least now that people will, it will make sense to everyone because Pirates is not playing in Africa. Sundowns and Chiefs are playing in Africa, or Chiefs were. They are now out. Sundowns, I'm expecting Pirates to always be ahead of Sundowns for Sundowns to catch up. But the good part about this season is the fact that Sundowns will have to catch up games and points. You see, so going on to Pirates, when you look into the starting lineup, the surprise was straight from Urile Mofokeng, Ozwinapolis, and then you see Umremi missing. And then you see Tito Maswanganyi coming into starting the game, and you get surprised. Oh, okay, he's getting the nod ahead of Umremi, which is something that I think most Pirates fans would be happy to see. And then you see Undaba at the back as well, starting ahead of Uhoto. Siema, as expected, back into the starting lineup. And then the big miss in the starting lineup, Umbata, whom I don't know, maybe he's a card away from suspension. Maybe the coach is saving him for the big game that is coming against Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm not sure. Yeah, but also he might be rotating the team. And I think, as you said, and as you rightfully say, this Wadu team is feared as compared to, if you compare it to Jose Rivero. But as to he's a better coach, it's a story for another day. You and I will never agree on that, Nadim. But yeah, the Wadu team is dangerous. This team looks very dangerous. It looks like a team that is really out there to compete, and they collect points. They're not as lethal as they should be. Yes, they scored 3 goals, but they could have scored more goals. There's too many goals that could have went in. My only worry, Nadim, and I hope if Wadu listens to us, my only worry is it seems like you cannot get the best of Ozwinapolis and Relay at the same game. It seems like when the other one is playing at his 100 game, the other one is just on the 50th. I hope they manage to sort that out, because there's a game where you're gonna need both of them at their best. But I think they played fairly well. I mean, anyone can tell that right now Relay's on a top form. He's heading back to that nomination of, remember when he was nominated with Costa when he left Sundowns. I think he's raising his hand again for that award. You look at the game alone, man. First 10 minutes, Pirates wanted to score as early as possible, and they did get a goal. To my surprise, Nadim, it looks like Mbuthuma is getting the nod ahead of Mahob. Looks like he's the #1 striker now for Uwadu. So I don't know, is it going to be for long, or is it Uwadu trying to confuse the other team? Hence I'm saying maybe Mbat has been rested just to confuse the team. Maybe Tito is starting so that they can plan for Tito, and then Moremi will start. So I think Pirates played very well. They could have scored 3 goals before they went to halftime. I love what the coach is doing with Tito, bringing Tito closer to Mbuthuma, or closer to the strikers. Hence why we see him coming back to scoring. We saw him scoring last week. And I think this is the first time you see Relebohile Mofokeng in his career at the Betway scoring 3 goals in a row. I think he also won man of the match back to back. So it's great. I think Pirates is hitting form at the right time, Nadim. They're hitting, Tito is coming back on form, Relays on form, Moremi has it, Ozwinapolis. So the team is hitting form at the perfect time. So I think it's for Sundowns to chase this one.
Yeah, no, coach, I agree with you. For Police, since the AFCON, it doesn't look convincing. Since he came back, honestly speaking, you need to pick up. Mofokeng is really outclassing Apolis at this stage. People were saying it looks like Apolis is going to be the player of the season. Now I can safely say that Mofokeng, if he continue with this momentum, will definitely become crowned the player of the season. And Ndaba, coach, you called it right that Ndaba is really improved. I saw it today. He's delivering what you're expecting from him, just like Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen, I think, is growing with this Pirates team. It looks like Libitza will be in trouble. It's going to be hard to replace him. And then CM, obviously, is undisputed. With CBC, I'm still not sure, coach. I'm still not convinced. I think the coach, but obviously, is a Bafana player, is an Orlando Pirates coach, is an Orlando Pirates captain. It's understandable why the coach wants to give him a chance and see what he's gonna do. Impressive with Maswanganyi. It looks like he creates danger. It's so good to see him like getting interested in playing football. At one point in time, I thought his mind was elsewhere, but now he's improving. You can see the eagerness and all those kind of things. Mbuthuma, it looks like he's taking out your guy Mahopa from the team. I don't know if he's still rotating, but Mbuthuma, coach, it looks like he's coming to the party. He brings that sense of urgency. I understand why. That's why players like Kabelo Dlamini, players like Sipombule, players who are a bit slow, they're going to struggle to get into this team, because this guy, you can see, he likes players who pass the ball forward. Even Sipombule, when he came in, his passes were now direct going forward. That's what the coach wants. That's what is exciting about him. I fear for Sundowns that they might be in trouble against Orlando Pirates. They must come prepared, coach. What's your take also, coach, of Marumo Gallants? What is it that you saw? Because obviously Pirates dominated the game. If you look at it, statistical, Orlando Pirates had 9 shots on target. Marumo won 24 shots. Marumo 4, and then ball position 59-41. What do you think about this Marumo Gallants, coach? Where do you think it's going to reach this season?
Well, Nadim, when you look at them, I can say, yes, they will be safe from relegation. I don't think they'll be fighting for relegation. I think that as good as they will go, man. And they are playing a team that has taken first their coach and few more players. So I didn't expect much from Marumo Gallants. And remember, I said this to someone yesterday, that the very same Marumo Gallants, last time when they played at Orlando and it was raining, they got 8. So today it was obviously going to be that in the back of their head, Washington Arubi was aware that hey, if they're going to go try and go pound to pound, they might get 8. I think they were destabilized by Orlando Pirates, signing a few players from them. It destabilized them a lot because it's not just two, it's not just one players. I think Pirates took 3 players from them, and then they couldn't replace those players. So I don't think it was always going to be a challenge for Pirates going to Marumo. But the most interesting part about this game, Nadim, is the Pirate side. You just said something. Tito seems to create danger, and he is creating danger because if you look at the 2 goals that were scored before Relay had a marvelous third goal, he was involved. I mean, the first goal, he was the secondary assister. And then he scored the other goal. I think he's a marveler to watch. He's playing like a number 10. But you see, this is where the coaching comes in. With the Tito of Rivero, you would see Tito going down to drop from deep. But now I think coach is saying, no, I don't want you deep. I want you at the end of the field so that you can finish. And amen. When you talk about the player of the season, you look at Relay's goal. Jesus. There's a time where I just found the defender rolling on the floor and I'm asking myself, what's happening? So this boy seems like he's going for that award, and rightfully so. And it's not a matter of, I don't think Oswin has dropped. I think it's a matter of positional. If you remember, Oswin is very good when he comes from the left, and Nadim. But if you look at his last few games, he's being forced or he's being moved to play on the right wing, and he wants to cut in. I don't think him playing on the right wing is his best strength. But now you look at the President Yama 2K, the face of Orlando Pirates, the face of Adidas. So the coach as well has pressure to say, hey, who's getting the nod now? Is it the Oswina Police or is it the face of Pirates, face of Adidas? I mean, President Yama 2K, he will always go with Urile.
Why are you saying it's the face of Adidas? We know Pirates renew their contract, I think, 5 years.
Yeah, to 5 years. But this guy, go
Is
look
it the
at the
face of
advert.
Adidas now?
He is. He's been. Go look at the adverts. You will see Siyakulisi. You will see Relebohile Mofokeng. When last did we see a South African footballer on such adverts of Adidas? So it shows you the boy is doing very well, Nadim. As much as I love the attitude that he's having, because beginning of the season it was a matter of maybe he's worried that Kota are going abroad and he's going, but it seems like he's over that. And someone once said, you can live a king at home. Not everybody needs to go abroad. I mean, look at the Prince of South African football, Mazwanganyi. He's worshipped in South Africa. So maybe really might go that route, but he's still young. Would love to see him playing abroad. So I think credit needs to be given to Utito Maswanganyi. Is a player whom I thought for some time that the system is going to swallow him, but it seems like he's proving the coach that he wants to play. I'll give him credit for that, Nadim. And it's nice to see that even without Mbata, the team still plays well. So it means that Paris doesn't depend on one player. Paris does not depend on what single combination. You see Makaula, player midfield of the season, Makehleni. I always call him Pirate Security Service, doing the dirty job there. So I think it was marvelous to watch Pirates. Msendani today, Nadim, can we give him a benefit of a doubt to say maybe he'll cause traffic? Yes, he hasn't raised his hand as yet, but I think the coach believes in him, and rightfully so. So I think let's give him time. He will gel. As for Mbuthuma and Mwanase Mahopa is going to show people flames come Wednesday. Mahopa has been on the bench, Nadim. He comes in, he goes on the bench, he always remains. Hence why Pirates will forever remain, be loyal and renew his contract, because they know his contribution. So I think credit to Uwadu and his team. Well done to Relebohile Mofokeng. And again, let's give credit to Uchain and his defense, man. I mean, they've considered 5 goals in 16 games. That's a recipe for a championship. So I think these guys are doing extremely well, man.
Coach, well done to Orlando Pirates. Pirates are really doing well in this season. I mean, it's very clear they're going to win the league. I mean, such statistics: played 16, win 12, drawn 2, lost 2. They are really flying high. If they beat Sundowns on Wednesday at FNP Stadium, it's going to be in their hands. They might be even reach a record number of points, because the highest number of points is 73. This Pirates team is capable of reaching 75 points, the way it looks, especially if they can beat Sundowns, because I know they will easily beat Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, there's nothing there. I mean, you can see that when they win by lucky. People, they usually feel like we're being critical of Kaizer Chiefs, we're hating them, but there's nothing there. The mistake started when they fire Nabi without a proper replacement. Yes, in the league, it looks like they were up to something. They're up to nothing. Just like Amazulu on 30 points, Kaizer Chiefs on 30 points. It is the story, coach. Let's move on, coach, to Mamelodi Sundowns. We saw the sky is the limit. Bafana Base Pitori. Okay, let's stay with Kaizer Chiefs because of race. I've already started talking about them. Coach, you saw the game played away against Zamalek. You said, coach, they might have a chance. Obviously, they considered 2 goals. They couldn't equalize. What's your take on that match? Were you expecting these results for Makosi to start number 1 and end as number 3?
I honestly gave Chiefs the credit. I gave them a benefit of a doubt to say Chiefs will come through. I thought they would make it, man. I thought like a bad result they would come up with would be a draw. And if you look at the first half, man, Chiefs had a plan. They knew how to stop Zamalek from playing out. I saw there's a time where Zamalek kept playing the long balls. But what Chiefs then decided to do was to go into second half and not plan for those second balls, for those long balls. I mean, and the problem is, Nadim, you know, I don't fully agree with you. Yes.
Coach, before you go further, I'm interested to know just one question. Which formation were they playing today?
They were playing 4-3-3.
Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, they were playing 4-3-3. It was Pasika Bako, Munyani, Kwidika, and given Musimango the back four. And then in the middle field, I think they had a double pivot and a decoy of a middle field in Umatlou. So they had no natural number 10. So Matlo was sort of a decoy. When he moves up, then the two plays as a double pivot. And then when Matlo drops off, who's this in glove would move up. And then they had Lilepo and then Pulemodi and then Silva. So they played 4-3-3 Naidim. You see, yes, it didn't work out, especially in the first half. They looked like they would contain Zamalek. But the problem with them is they did not have a plan of getting a goal. Because I think the best chance that they got was a free kick from Lilepo, whom played a very brilliant free kick, but the keeper saved. I think Da Silva was lost today. I don't know what was happening. William Modi didn't cause too much traffic, didn't cause too much trouble. I don't know. Hence why I'm saying it looked like they had a plan of getting a draw. But like I said previously, you can't go to a game relying on a draw, you see. But I didn't see them being defensive. I thought in the first half, the coach had a plan that let's force them to play long. But remember, Nadim, you know, there's a saying that says if you pray for rain, you need to prepare for the mud. So if Chiefs has done very well in saying, okay, we are going to contain them, and then the team comes and changes the plan, now they're playing with wing. And if you check, even in the first half, they could have scored with headers, but they just couldn't direct them. I think Chiefs went to sleep there. You see, if you look at the first goal, the cross, I don't know, is it Pasika Mark or is it Muñiz? I think it was Muñiz. I think there was a miscommunication there. And then the second goal as well, they're both coming from the sides. I think Chiefs went to sleep, and then only after they scored, the Zamalek scored on the 72nd minute, Chiefs responds on the 75th minute with the goal. But then afterwards, you see it, Undlovu going out, and then the coach not bringing in an attacker. I think Mayo as well was brought in very late. And we see Villagazi coming in. I mean, Chiefs had nothing to lose, Nadim. In fact, they had more to gain. The moment Zamalek scored, it should have been an open game. It should have been a game of, you know what, let's go all out. If the game had to end 5-4, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you have to draw, or you like Chiefs could not afford to lose. So I'm saddened that they didn't make it through, but I'm proud of how well they played. I mean, they come out as number 3, yes, with 10 points for a team that has been struggling to be in top 8, for a team that everybody in South Africa wrote them off to say they won't make it. They give themselves a chance, Nadim. They give themselves a chance to say we can make it. It was just unfortunate they didn't make it. But I'm, as a South African, as an Orlando Pirates person or a football fan, I'm proud of Kaizer Chiefs, man. Yes, most Kaizer Chiefs fans are not happy. More of Nadim saying they always knew that Chiefs was gonna come, but I'm proud. I know who's this Nabi. I think Nabi did his part, Nadim. I think he did his job, and his job was to lay the foundation. They just needed somebody to continue. Are these guys in the wrong? I don't think so. Let them finish the season, and then if you get someone in, get someone in. But the foundation is laid. Kaizer Chiefs is at the number 3. You and I can say Chiefs is not in the running of the league, but mathematically it's saying Chiefs is still there. So I think let's give credit to them and say, well done, come back. And then maybe now that they've got nothing to play for, just the league, who knows? Maybe they might push even more.
Yeah, no, coach, I hear you. You give credit where it's due. I mean, I didn't expect Kaizer Chiefs to accumulate 10 points. Obviously, they won 2 games against Zesco home and away. Then, obviously, that lucky win in Polokwane against Al Masari. Not deservedly so, because Makadi's goal was offside and that team was denied a legitimate penalty. They should have given. Chiefs scored a penalty in that game. It looked like it was even. For me, when it comes to me, Kaizer Chiefs, I look at this Chiefs team. I feel Chiefs, you can't go on like this, where you win by luck, where you win through referees, where you win through maybe lucky goals. You don't even know how you win. For me, I know a lot of people inside Kaizer Chiefs, and they are very intelligent people. So I'm amazed that they took the risk of saying Nabi's assistant must stay in as a coach. Honestly speaking, I think when you get rid of a coach like that, you must bring someone who's better than the person you sacked, because we can't say Ben Yusuf and Cedric Carter suddenly they're better coaches than Nabi. In my family, I've got people who support Kaizer Chiefs. They ask me one thing: what is wrong with Kaizer Chiefs? I tell them one thing, coach. The coach. They need a coach. Just like what is right with Orlando Pirates. They managed to get 2 coaches in a row. They got Rivero, who laid the foundation. Then they get a guy like Owato, who's like perfecting the team. Sometimes with a proper coach, it can make a huge difference in a team, coach. I don't know what's your take on that. What do you think is wrong, coach, before we move to Sundowns? Because obviously for me, I don't know if you feel that there's something wrong with Chiefs. Because for me, Chiefs, I'll be lying to our viewers if I can say Chiefs is challenging for the league title. They're not going to win the league. They're not going to win the Nedbank Cup because they're already eliminated. They're not going to win the Confederation Cup because they were eliminated today. So they're not going to win anything this season. So what do you think is wrong, coach, if you feel there's something wrong? For me, I feel like it's always been the coaching staff, because they do have the money to pay players. They do have the money to sign players. But when it comes to the coaching, I think that's where they get it wrong. If they were having a coach like Rivero, I think Rivero was here 3 months, 2 months ago. They should have not allowed him to leave this country. They should have, because they need someone who knows what he's doing. Coach.
Nadim, I'm trying to pick what is wrong at Chiefs, but instead of me finding the answer in my back of my head, I'm only seeing progression. I'm only seeing Chiefs progressing slowly. Yes, not at the pace that we want it to be as South African football fans, but it's progressing. Nadim, this is the team that struggled to get to 30 points. This is the team that couldn't even be at top 3. We wouldn't be even talking about Chiefs. Yes, rightfully so. If you look at Orlando Pirates squad and Mamelodi Sundowns squad, you are saying, nah, Chiefs has no chance of winning the league. But what is numbers saying? Numbers are not saying that. I'm looking at the log now. Pirates is what? Pirates is 8 points ahead of Kaizer Chiefs with a game ahead as well. Chiefs has a chance to say, you know what? If we beat Pirates, then we cut that down. And there's always a second chance, which
I
you don't
I
think
think
it will
Pirates
happen.
have beaten. I think Pirates have beaten Kaizer Chiefs in the last 4 league matches or something like that. And they're
Well,
still gonna
they
play.
might have
They're still gonna play twice.
back to back, yes, and that's where Chiefs might decide the league for Orlando Pirates, and this is one thing that people forget. Nadim, let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this, and I hope we'll come back to this. When it comes to derby, it doesn't matter who's on top form. Derby is not about form; it's about who plays the event on the day more than
If it
anything.
doesn't matter, if it doesn't matter in a derby who's on top form, why Orlando Pirates have beaten Chiefs in the last four league matches where they were doing well under
Jose
who's this
Rivera.
name guy? Yeah, Judas Carriot. I mean Rivero. Yeah.
Because they had Unabi. Now that Nabi has left, maybe Chiefs might surprise Pirates, or maybe it might go to a draw. So I'm not gonna
So
write
do you
this one
think
off.
these two interpreters, can beat Orlando Pirates?
I think they can do a better job than Nabi. They've already shown. They've already shown that the numbers are there. Numbers don't lie. I don't see. Honestly, I'm trying, Nadim, to find reasons to say there's something wrong at Chiefs. I can't.
Coach,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
I don't think these two guys are doing a better job than Nabi. Remember, this is a much
Mhm.
improved team from last season. I think Kaizer Chiefs, they signed well, they improved the team, and these two interpreters are benefiting from that. Honestly speaking, I don't think they're better than Nabi. There's a reason why they were Nabi's assistant coaches. It's like saying
No,
Rulani is a better coach than Pizzo. There's a reason why Rulani was an assistant coach to Pizzo. So for me, I think they rushed them too much, coach.
there. Yeah, but Nadim, just so we don't drag it, if one was to ask me to say what is wrong with Chiefs, I would say this season there's nothing wrong with Chiefs. Chiefs has progressed so much the progression that Chiefs has made, because we know they are the glamour boys.
Then
They have the Pefeni boys.
if you say there's nothing wrong, why are they gonna end the season trophyless?
There's too many teams that are going to end the season trophyless. Currently, there's only one team that has trophies in the during the season, and that's Orlando Pirates. The rest of the 15 teams have not won anything. So if you are right in saying Pirates is going to win the league, then there's high chances that 15 more teams might not win anything because the Nedbank Cup is there for the taking. So there's high chances that all 15 might end up without anything. So that's what I'm saying. I'm
also
struggling to
Pirates
find.
can also win the Nedbank Cup because they got a favorite draw. Already Pirates, as we speak, they're in the quarterfinal because they expected you to beat Castrick. There's no way Pirates can lose to Castrick.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm saying. It's difficult to say Chiefs, there's not anything wrong. I think the only thing that the management needs to do is to see what is the right that they are doing, build on that. And then if they need a coach, they need a coach that will be profiled according to the squad that they have. I think that's one thing that Orlando Pirates management has done. If you look at the CV of Wadu and Jose Rivero, initially they had won nothing, but they had the development coaching experience in their CV. And both of them, they
Coach,
come in.
Maybe they need to hire Dr. Komalo. Has been talking a lot these days.
No,
Maybe it's bored.
you see,
maybe they need to hire Dr. Komalo. Yes, angered the Paris fans last week. He's been talking a lot. Maybe he needs to go and coach Kaizer Chiefs so that he match Sundowns at their best because he feels.
no. No, let him enjoy the legendary status there. Let him. You see, he's even gaining weight and complexion. He's having life. I've seen coaches go to Pirates and Chiefs, and then all of a sudden they have gray hair. So like I was saying, Nadim, before we move on, I think mute Nadim. I think Chiefs management, what they need to do is just to see what right is happening currently and build on it. Start profiling for a coach if you're not going to keep these two, and make sure it's a coach that understands what is needed at Kaizer Chiefs. Don't get a coach. I said in the beginning, Nadim, if you remember, I said, yes, culture, yes, identity is important. But identity that does not come with results, it kills confidence. Right now, the Chiefs
coach,
players are confident.
I agree with you. For me, I feel like they need to profile a coach and get a coach who can really deliver the glory days. Guys, coach, Sundowns, let's move on to Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. The sky is the limit. Matsatsanza Pitori, they were hosting MC Alger, 2-0 score. Goal scored by 70 million man, Brayan León. What's your take on that match, coach?
Yeah, Nadim, I'm glad that you spoke about Leon. Can we give credit to him before anything? I mean, there's too many times where we go and say Sundowns is spending money, but this guy has been brought in to get goals and he's getting them. Let's just give credit to Leon and say, sir, brought with millions and you are taking. I mean, he's taking them to the quarterfinals. And also I hope people that were saying, I remember when I said Arthur Sels is not a scam, I was being called, but it's fine. Look at how he presses. Look at how he gets into Sundowns. Now all of a sudden the same team that you and I are saying they are regressing, they beat the son of the soil. I'm gonna make a bold statement, Nadim, and I want your take on this. I think, and this is me as Coach KB, I think Rulani is a better coach than Cardoso at Sundowns. He was a better coach when he was at Sundowns. If you compare Rulani's stats against Cardoso, yes, he played very well. Sundowns was the most feared team. But in CAF competition, Cardoso is a better coach than Rulani. I mean, they've went head to head. Cardoso has beaten Rulani. How many times now? Is it twice or 3 times now? I don't remember Rulani Mukwena beating Cardoso. 3 times, you see. So can we now as well, as much as we going hard on Cardoso, can we also give him credit to say, you know what, our beloved Rulani Mukwena cannot beat this guy that we are saying is a plumber. I get a majority say, no, Cardoso must leave, he's a plumber. Cardoso, when it comes to CAF competition, Cardoso football is better than Rulani's football, whether we like it or not. Whether we love Rulani with our hearts or not, Cardoso always finds a way of beating him, Nadim. I see you are breathing heavily. You don't want to admit it, but you need to give it to him. He is beating Rulani Mukwena. Rulani had no answers today. There was only one team there that showed up. Yes, he played. I saw he had 2 19-year-old boys playing in his team. Maybe he was too arrogant to do that as well. Maybe the mind games got into his head. But you know what? If there's one team in South Africa, Nadim, which we need to give credit to, if there's one team that knows how to play Champions League football, it's Sundowns. And they've got a coach who can do that. Yes, he almost didn't make it, but he makes it. So when they go into the next round, no one remembers how they did not almost make it. Everybody will remember the fact that they made it. And now it's a knockout.
Remember, coach, according to Dr. Komalo, this is a weekend Sundowns.
So between you and I, just imagine if the weakest Sundowns currently is making it through to the next round with knockout stages. Remember, knockout, you just need to win away or draw away, come back and finish it. They might as well go to the final. So I don't know if I should be scared or I should be worried, because if a weak Sundowns is playing like this,
No, coach,
and beating
we are right. We are right, coach. This Sundowns team can go to the final. Honestly speaking, it's good enough. That's why I said they can still win the league, they can still win the Champions League, they can still win the Nedbank. That's why I said Dr. Kumalo, the way I saw it, he was joking. Because if he was serious, then he was lying. If Dr. Kumalo was serious that this is the weekend team, then he was lying. This is not the weekend Sundowns team. This is Sundowns at their best. We saw what they did. They dominated MC Alger, one of the top North African teams. Another thing, coach, you must also bear in mind is that all these North African teams, they don't win in South Africa, especially during the day. The game was during the day. And they struggle to be, maybe their gods don't work during the day, they work at night. During the day, they don't. And also remember, Ali has never won in South Africa. Ali always win the Champions League. Since it started playing football, it has never won a South African match. Even when they play Vets or SuperSport United or Platinum Stars, it's always struggle, but they dominated home. I think they were hoping for a draw, because a win against local, it was difficult, coach.
Yeah, I know. No, you are right. That's what I'm saying. I wonder how most South Africans are feeling now, because I saw majority were saying, "Son of the soil, we are behind you. We are behind you." And it was good to know that people are behind Brayan León Muñiz, and we love it when our coaches are doing well. But you can't come to against Sundowns now and we must worship you. Yes, like I said, it was always going to be interesting to see the tactics, but tactically he was beaten, and we need to accept. Hence, what I'm saying. Cardoso football is better than Ronaldo football in African football, in CAF Champions League football, whether we like it or not. So as much as Cardoso came up with the finding the scapegoat, seeing Orlando Pirates fans and saying all those things, maybe it's also not a media darling because of pressure. But with me, Nadim, if you win it, I'll give you your flowers. I think he's doing well. He has beaten Rulani. Maybe that's the other reason why Sundowns went for him, because he keeps beating Rulani. And let's also give credit to Uhlope, man. I mean, any management under what has been happening, he would have called the gun. I mean, we were all calling for Cardoso's head to say, no, sack this guy. But he stayed cool. He showed him support. And results came his way. So come Wednesday, we don't know what might be the results. You look at Orlando Pirates, that is extremely, extremely on fire. But they're coming up against a team that is well experienced in this Betway Premiership. The only team that has won it more than any other. So it's going to be very interesting. And with them now, some Pirates winning 3, Sundowns winning 2, confidence has built up, because now they have one thing over the line. So now Sundowns might come and saying, we are confident enough. If we can do it there against MC Alger, why can't we do it against Orlando Pirates? But they are facing again President Yamatuke, face of Adidas, who's on fire. It's going to be a very interesting game to see. I hope no one is injured so that there's no excuses. And Nadim, before you close it, can we also say Sundowns might have sorted out their issues on their left centre back? Undaimani seems like a proper fit in that team. I mean, he's hard, yes. He kills everything. He takes to clean us. The boy's doing well. And the revolution of Jaden Adams. Nadim. Watching Jaden Adams play, it just gives me joy, you see. And there's a time where I saw Sundowns leading 1, and then I see Allende coming in. In my head, I'm like, there is no way that Roland is going to come in. You see Allende, Jaden Adams playing, you know already that you're going to have position, you're not going to win it. But you look at the second goal, look at Allende's movement. And the finishing, that's a 70 million finishing. Hence I'm saying, yes, we bash Sundowns, but when they did well, we need to give them credit and say, well done, Coach Cardoso and staff. Let's hope on Wednesday they bring the same A game, and then Wadu brings the A game. So that, I mean, at the end of the day, Nadim, it's at FNB during the week. We are supposed to be resting for our work, but we will be at the stadium to witness the best. So can we do that?
Something I thought you were going to highlight is that in this game, Sundowns, If you look in the last game, coach, where they lost to Al Hilal, they played Allende, Santos, Leone, and Ricino. Today, they started only 2 players from South America, which is Leone and Sales. No European play. Put local base players, Sundowns did well. That's what the Sundowns supporters were saying, that the coach is being biased, is favoring European players and the South American. When the European players were not playing, we saw Sundowns delivering. When you see a guy like Alenge sitting on the bench, you feel that's where he belongs, because Jaden Adams, he did well. And Sundowns did well because they've been struggling with Allende, with Santos, with Resinho. But they were not playing today. They didn't start the game. You saw a much improved Sundowns. I'm beginning to believe the Sundowns fan who are saying they want the players who are bought locally to play, because those are the best players at Mamelodi Sundowns. The results are saying that. But if you look, when you put all this European entourage, it doesn't look like a convincing Sundowns. What's your take on that, coach, before we close?
You know, Nadim, you're touching on a very important thing, and it's a fact. It's been proven today again. I think the synergy of Abu Santos and Wonuno, it's not working for Sundowns. Maybe, like you're saying, put 2. I think what other salesmen, other sales has some of us, we even forget that he's a Brazilian boy. He has fit into the team. He understands, and he also struggled. So maybe Miguel Cardoso needs to allow the other 2 as well to come in slowly, just like Styles did. You see, that's what I'm saying. The revolution of Jaren Adams, man, it just makes me very happy to see master of spacing playing. You see, and you see, Leon, and like you're saying, Leon and Arthur Sale started. Leon plays as a striker. You see the Prince of South African football, Temba Mshishi's one standing up, the stadium celebrating as if it's a goal. So I think they are right. The Sundowns fans are right. They know their team better than us, and it seems like they know it better than their coach. Hopefully Cardoso can see what everyone else is seeing and stick to that. But it's going to be difficult because, you know, there's players that come into the teams, Nadim, with contracts. You get people that come into the team with clause to say, if I'm fit, then I need to play. We don't know what contracts they have, but Sundowns can always amend. Hopefully, those are not the contracts that these guys came in with. You're muted, Nadim.
Yeah, hopeful, coach. Is not players. The European players, there's nothing like where the clause says that they must play. If Sundowns wants to do well, they must play the best players available, of which Jaden Adams, it looked like it was unfair not playing him. If you look how he has been given a chance and delivering. That's all from us, guys. That's our review of us. Orlando Pirates back on top of the log. Kaizer Chiefs back to Kaizer Chiefs village in Churena, where they belong, not in the Confederation Cup. In the Confederation Cup, they tried their best, but it was not good enough. Then Mamelodi Sundowns, they sell on. How far can they go? Obvious, coach is correct. Cardoso looks like he's a better coach than Rulan in the Champions League. Last year, in the last 2 editions of the Champions League, Cardoso went to the final. Can you win it this time around? Because remember, Rulan has yet to reach the final. Also, Pitso Msimane, I think, coach, with Sundowns, reached the final once. Obvious, with Ali, he did win it twice thereafter. Will Sundowns win the Champions League? It looks like they can, because then it will look like people like Dr. Kumalo must just stop talking things they don't know and say things. A team is weakened. This Sundowns team is not weakened. I don't even know why I was saying that. Because for me, I watched the video again, coach. I don't think it was joking. I think it was serious. I know in the last episode I said it looks like a joke, but the more he explained it, I watched it again. Was serious. Dr. Kumalo, you are very wrong. This Sundowns team is very good. It's going to challenge Pirates until the last day of the league. It's not out of the league. Yes, Pirates might be 6 points clear. We'll see at FNP Stadium how strong it is, because the Sundowns team has got quality players. This is the team that have the best players in South African football. Goodbye, everyone. Keep on subscribing. Join us next time when we preview Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns.